Greetings, everyone. This is Gerard, editor-in-chief of Filipino Soul Magazine, aka S.G.I.B magazine. It stands for Soldiers Down Intentions Believe That. And everyone should be sorting for something, a dream, a goal, an idea, a train of thought, something. I wasn't intending on posting a video today, and I know I haven't posted one in a minute, but I'm going to tell you a story. Story time, boys and girls. Quite some time back, I met a girl at a Jahim, Jagged Edge, and Mystical event hosted by S.G.I.B, where S.G.I.B was donated, I think, $1 million to the 100 Black Men organization. Well, during that event, they have a number of showcase models. I guess the best way to call them showcase models. Showcase models are the ones who walk around, promoting the product, hosting. They host the artists, host the people. In other words, make sure everybody has what they need when they need it. Okay, and so there was a group of girls who I met and talked to. As a matter of fact, I took a group of them sitting on Mystical's lap. Well, it turned out that a shot from that was in Jet magazine of Mystical, receiving or presenting the check for $1 million to 100 black men. Well, out of that, this is why networking is so important, and this is why I give so much to Bonnie Hilton Sweeney, who is the founder of the Pre-Grammy Party and manager and close confidant to the Godfather of Soul, Mr. James Brown. Mostly because she was also public relations for Playboy magazine, and she done a number of things, including launching The Truth, which is the Godfather of Soul, Mr. James Brown's own personal magazine. A promotional magazine, similar to like mine, that's handed out at events and things of that nature. It's not for sale. It's just to promote whatever it is that Mr. Brown was promoting. So events he was handing out, and possibly to get some type of it was a magazine. So anyway, I network, and I met a girl. Her name was Alize. Alize was, she calls herself a giraffe. She's a tall yellow girl, and she became like my road dog. I ran into her again at an event. The second time was when the Jets were in Hempstead handing out turkeys, for the underprivileged. And so we just decided it was meant to be for us to hook up, professionally speaking. Okay? And so, we hooked up together. I did a photo shoot of her, and she became like my personal assistant, my public relationist. She became my everything, Alize, as far as when it comes to promoting events, helping me coordinate the events. She was there as the representative of what it was I was doing. In fact, she came with me when I was on People's Court. I should post some of those videos. I see them all the time on the internet. She came with People's Court, although she didn't get to say anything. But I was on People's Court, and I don't want to go into the guy who sabotaged this thing who I was suing for. It's not important. I don't get sidetracked. So that's just how close she's always been with me. When I finally made the break from the East Coast to the West Coast, in fact, it was Alize who purchased, my furniture from my apartment in West Babylon. When I came to the West Coast, and by that time I was moving too fast, and I got into Arizona and decided to launch the magazine. So the point I'm making is that Alize was with me through a whole lot, and when I got stranded in Las Vegas when the event collapsed that I was working with Timothy Wilson, honoring Ali Woodson, former lead singer of the Temptations. MC Carter, who was founder of the Players Ball, with his childhood friend Ice-T, who was always, you know, a major draw for that event, and Bonnie, of course. So when that event collapsed in February, because it was being held, we were reuniting the pre-Grammy crew. You know, I had someone call me, Kenny Bates was calling me and asked me to come help him put it back together because he felt that he was the next one in line to carry on the pre-Grammy party. So he knew that I was Bonnie's personal photographer. So I kind of knew where all the bones were buried. You know, so I went around up and down the West Coast and, you know, kissing the rings of those who were involved in it, trying to get them to come along and come aboard. And they had agreed. In fact, the OJs were going to perform music from their recently released album publicly, I guess for the first time I can say. You know, because Lamont McLemore, who was the founder of Jet Magazine, had just finished their cover shot. And Lamont McLemore I also interviewed for the last issue of Filipino Soul Magazine, aka S.G.I.B magazine. So we had agreement for him, Charlie Wilson, who else? Majestic. If you don't know who Majestic is, Majestic, if you were ever watching the Michael Jackson, this last trial that he was in, Catherine hung on to the arms Majestic most of the time when she walked in and out of court. So that's just to give you a place where he was, God bless the dead. You know, so just to show you who he was on board, because he loved Bonnie just as much as I did. So anyway, so when it collapsed, the event, I had a nervous breakdown, ended up in the hospital, VA hospital for about a month. And when I was released homeless. I was living out of my 2013 Ford Fusion. And thanks to Victoria, I'm giving Victoria a shout out, because Victoria, who is the sister of MC Carter, pointed out to me that Kenny Bates had no money. You know, I was bamboozled, you know, and because not having an agreement, a contract, there's a lesson for that, boys and girls. You know, I've asked people over the years, you know, what's the best advice you would give someone about following their dreams and their goals? And the most interesting one I got from Joe Jackson. He says, you get a lawyer, and then you hire another lawyer to watch that lawyer. So that was kind of funny. So, cause I didn't have an agreement, so I lost my shirt. Best thing to say. So now I'm in Las Vegas. You know, I can't get out because Timothy and I were supposed to bounce. Y'all were supposed to come to the Philippines. You know, dry out. You know, because I knew the policy here that the president have no drugs, no whatever. So you know, I knew that I was going to be in a safe place. And Timothy Wilson was retiring. Timothy Wilson of Tiny Tim and the Hits, and formerly lead singer for the Teenagers, Frankie Lyman's Teenagers. He just recently passed away too. And him and I were going to go to Europe because he was retiring from work, and he had a beckoning, or he had a call, or he had an audience, or he had your people. They appreciate our music more in Europe, in any ways in the world, than we do ourselves when it comes to our classic music. So him and I were going to go on tour. So anyway, so while I was in Vegas, you know, I had this habit. I don't know if it was a good habit. When I got paid, I paid off all my bills, so I make sure I have nothing to worry about at the end of the month. And I was broke. If I was broke or ended up with money, I didn't have to worry about bill collectors or anything like that. Everything was paid for, which is something I've always grateful and always glad I had the intellect to always do in spite of, was be able to take care of my responsibility. But when I fell short, I started calling Alize. And I had this thing that if you loan me money, I give you double back at the end of the month. So in other words, if she sent me 50, I give 100. She sent me 100, I sent her 200. So Alize and I had this exchange, and of course, being the monthly figure she was, you know, after quite a while of doing this, I guess she decided tough love was the best thing for me, and she put her foot down and she said no. Now, let me back up a little bit. When I came to, and this is the reason why I'm doing this video, when I came to Las Vegas and decided to put the magazine together, and I was doing the magazine and also doing the event, I was overwhelmed. So I needed help. So Alize had said that she had a cousin in Las Vegas, and she gave me her number and I called her. And her name was Regina. And she came and she helped me. She did the transcribe of the audio interviews I had already had into the computer. When my stuff was stolen, it was only by the grace of God that the interviews that I had, she had entered into the computer that I was still able to have, like Lamar McElroy. I lost a lot of interviews, like Harold Melvin and Blue Notes, you know, but I was able to save the Mary Jane Girls, Lamar McLemore's, you know, and that was called Regina. And while I'm going through my trial now, I'm in Las Vegas for a while. I got an apartment, and there were some times when I really needed help, but I didn't even have food, you know, like this. And Regina would come, and she would bring me food to eat. Regina, I guess, not only was she a G angel, but she was always there for me. She was always there. I did a few things for her when I can, you know, but, you know, I was always there. She was always there for me, you know, and she was always that family I had there in Las Vegas that I knew were family, you know, and I really loved her a lot. I love her. And this is the reason why I'm doing this video, because a little while ago, Alize sent me a messenger saying that she had passed away. Now I knew Gina was sick. I think she had a brain tumor or something, and she was in and out of the hospital at one point or another. But we always stayed in touch. We always called each other just to hear each other. And it's funny because a couple of days ago I saw a message from her, or that she was tagged in, and I can't remember if I sent her a wave or a poke or something like that, but that she had passed away back in January. And it really hit me. You know, really hit me that she passed away. And I want to thank Alize for letting me know, because she knew how much I loved Gina. She knew how much Gina was had been a part of my life. And I just hope, I just hope that there is a heaven up above. that she's teaching people how to care for one another. You know. So that's why I'm doing this video now. It's in memory of Gina. And I know Gina is taking her spot in that group shot in Thug Mansion that she will be in when I get there to take that picture. And so, I guess what I want to say is rest in peace, Gina. Thank you all what you've done for me. God knows all what you've done for others. Even when you weren't able to, you found a way. And Gina, I just want to say I love you, baby. God bless you. And God bless the family. God bless you too, Alize. Thank you for sharing. This is Gerard, editor-in-chief of Filipino Soul Magazine, aka S.G.I.B. Remember, dreams are nothing more than plans awaiting action. Never disrespect the elderly, and always pull someone up. And sometimes, you're the only one to see your vision. And if you're good, he'll put people in your life who believe in you too, like Gina believed in me. And if you haven't got a dream, a goal, an idea, train of thought, don't worry about it. Do what I do, as much as you can, as fast as you can, go home. And remember, I always love you, boy. I'll talk to you later. Peace.